Hi guys, it's the Macintosh Guide and I'm back again with a very interesting video. Now today we're looking at the PS3 Slim, but we're going to be doing something really exciting to it. We're going to be installing PS3 HEN onto this PS3 Slim. Now PS3 HEN works on all models of the PlayStation 3. It gives you the capability of doing homebrew stuff. It's not the same as custom firmware, which is always installed onto your machine. This PS3 HEN, if you shut down your PS3 or you play any PS2 games, as soon as you exit or you boot your PS3 up, you will need to just re-enable PS3 HEN, and you don't need to go through all the steps. It's just a simple matter of clicking an application at that point after. But let's go through the process of getting this installed onto our PS3 Slim. So there's going to be a couple of prerequisites that we need. We need an original PlayStation 3 controller, and we're going to need a USB flash drive, preferably over 16 gigabytes. The other thing that we will need to make sure is that your PS3 is connected to the internet and that you have a computer nearby, because we will need to download a couple of files to install onto our PS3. So guys, let me boot the PS3 up and we'll start straight away. So as you guys can see, we're going to need a couple of files. We're going to be needing the HFW file. Now obviously I'm running the latest version on my PS3, so we will need the 4.91.1 version, and you can see the file is right here. Download this file. Make sure that you also keep this page open because you'll need the MD5 checksum, and we've also got a online tool that we would utilize. Again, I'll link everything that we need in the description, but this is the MD5 file checksum that we will be requiring. We will also need the 7-zip to unarchive. So in my instance, I'm running Windows on Parallels desktop, so I will be downloading the ARM version. And then Rufus, again, you'll need this to be able to make a bootable USB drive, and again I'm using the ARM version here. And we also want to download Multiman. Now a lot of people get a bit confused with Multiman. It's an open manager, basically file manager for your console, and what we want to do is download the unofficial Multiman. Now don't be scared about the unofficial aspect. It's more stable, as it says it's version 4.84 HEN, so it's more stable for HEN version, and people have enjoyed using this a bit more and the stability is better. So please download this version, the 4.84 HEN version here. And we are now ready to go on to the next step. So what we now need to do is have the following available. So I've created a folder called PS3 HEN files on my desktop. As you can see, I've got the pop file, I've got the Multiman file, and then I've got Rufus open right here. So what you now need to do is plug in your USB drive, and you need to make sure of the following. You'll need to make sure that the boot selection is set up as non-bootable, as this is the only way to be able to set this up, and the partition scheme has to be MBR. If it's not, then it won't boot on your console. And you also need to make sure that it is FAT32 for it to be readable, and you can label the USB whatever you want. So when you're ready, you click start, you click OK, and then you let the USB drive be partitioned and formatted as needed. So let's just let it finish up. I'm only using an 8 gig USB stick. I know I mentioned 16 at the beginning, but 8 gig is also big enough for this to work. So now that's done, we can just click close and move on to the next step. So now that's done, we will now need to do a couple of things to that USB. So what we need to do is click onto the USB stick, and you can see that there's 2 files already in there. Just ignore those. There's nothing crazy to think about. But what you need to do is click on new folder and type in PS3. Once that's done, you then need to double click, go inside the PS3 folder, and then type in update. Now what's very important is has to be exactly how I've done it. You need to do capital letters for that. Then you double click, and wherever you have stored your pop file, in my instance I did it on my desktop, you just need to copy, and paste. If my right click would work. There you go. And just let it copy over. It should only take a minute or so for this to be done. It's not a massive file at all. So let's just wait until that has come across. The file copied over. All we now need to do is rename this file. Now, before we do anything, you need to make sure it's a it's a PUP file. Now, if you want to be able to check, you need to click on View, Show Details, and File Name Extension. If the file is a .zip file, this is why we had downloaded 7-zip, to make sure that we can unarchive the file, unzip the file, sorry, and get the correct file come out of it. But in this instance, we don't need to do that. But what we do now need to do, which is very important, is renaming that file in our folder. So all you need to do is just click twice slowly, and you need to get rid of everything that's after the underscore. So the file should only now be named as ps3 updat.pup. As I mentioned again, very important, it has to be a PUP file. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. So now that the file has been renamed, we now need to open up our web browser again and go to the MD5 file checksum. We need to make sure that the PUP file that we have, the MD5 code is the exact same. So the way we do this, we go to the site, click on drop file, click on our USB, it has to be the file that you've put into your USB, click on PS3, click on update, and then click on the updat.pup file and click open. Now give it a few seconds, it will hash, and what you'll need to make sure is what's written here is exactly the same that is written here. Now as you can see on here, it's absolutely all in capital letters. You do not need to worry about that. It is not case sensitive. You just need to make sure that each of the letters and the numbers are exactly how they are on the official PS3Hen site. You will need to use your eyes for this, guys, but it is very important to make sure that it is the same. And now the last file that we will need is our homebrew file, so Multiman, that we downloaded earlier. So all we need to do is locate the Multiman homebrew file that you downloaded. In my instance, I downloaded everything into PS3Hen files on my desktop. You need to right click. Or you can, if you're in Windows 11, just click copy at the top, as I found out earlier. And then on your root of your USB stick, so just to show you from example, the USB, which is my E drive, and you just need to paste it here. You do not need to paste it anywhere else. It needs to be right next to your PS3 folder that you've got here. So as you can tell, the PKG file has now been pasted into my USB stick root. Just a reminder for everyone, your update file will need to be in your PS3 update, and the PAP file needs to be in here. And then on the root of your USB, the Multiman package needs to be there. And now we're ready to move to the PS3 to continue the rest of the steps. So guys, now we're on our PS3. I tried to use my capture card, but I realized that it doesn't work with the PlayStation 3's HDMI output. So I've switched to my camera. So what you first need to do is you need to ensure that you are not signed in to your PlayStation account. So in my instance, I've disabled auto sign in. So that's absolutely fine to do. And then what we want you to do after that is, if you go all the way into your PlayStation system settings and disable and turn the automatic update off. If you've got it on, please ensure that this is off so your PlayStation doesn't just automatically update. If you scroll all the way down, As we mentioned, I did the steps for 4.91. Please ensure that you look at system information to know what software version you're running on your PlayStation 3. And of course, follow the steps as precisely for that version. And in my instance, I've got 4.91. So what you now do is you plug in your USB that you created a bootable for, and you should see it correctly if everything was done as shown in the steps before. So what you now need to do is go all the way to system update via media storage, and it's going to scan, and there you go, it finds our 4.91.1 HFW file, and you just click yes, and then you let it install. Now you guys can see it's now installing the update. So let the HFW custom firmware install, and then we'll see you guys in the next step. So as you guys can see, we are now on the XMB again for the PlayStation 3. But guys, nothing has changed, as you probably realize. That's because we now need to install the HFW one more time. But you need to do this via safe mode. And I'll show you guys how to put your PS3 into safe mode, and then what steps we need to take to do this. And guys, just bear in mind, as I mentioned, it's important that your PS3 stays plugged in via Ethernet to ensure that there's connectivity coming to the PlayStation 3. I apologize, I mentioned that before, but that needs to be present for the PS3. To be able to do this, what you'll need to do is you'll need to turn off your PlayStation 3 completely first. So you turn off your PS3, and I'm going to move the camera to then show you what you need to do on your PS3 system itself. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to hold the power button down, and then the PS3 will turn on, and then hold it until it turns off again, first time. Now what you do again is you hold it down until it beeps twice. And now you let go. And what should happen is the PS3 should go to safe mode as shown here on the screen. So now I'm going to switch across, and then I'll show you what you need to do next. So what you now need to do is you need to plug your controller in and then press the PS button. So what you now need to do is you need to scroll all the way down and make sure that the USB is still plugged into the system, and you click on System Update, and then it says connect storage media that contains update data of your version 4.91 or later. So what we now need to do is need to press Select and Start buttons at the same time, and then it will start checking, and let it wait. It will take a couple of seconds at least for it to check, and then it should show us another screen. So I'm going to let the camera roll until we see that. And now you guys can see that it's preparing to update. Do not touch anything, let it do its thing. Now we are on to the next screen where it says PS3 system software version 4.9.1.1 HFW, and now all it's asking us is to press the PS button. So you press the PS button, it's now going to be checking for the update data again, and shortly it should proceed us to the next screen. So let's just have a wait for that. And now we're on the next screen. So please make sure that you've read the user agreement. You press the right arrow key on your controller and you press accept. And then it says do not turn off your system during the update. If you do, you may not be able to restart the PS3. So you press X and you start installing the update. Now you guys must be asking is why do I need to do this twice? It's very important that you do. And the reason why I've done it on the XMB and via safe mode is just as a precaution. They expect you to install this. You can do this twice via XMB if you can. You could do XMB in system safe mode like I've done, or you could do both in safe mode as well. It's just to ensure that everything's done correctly, nothing is missing, and that's why I decided to show you guys the XMB and the safe mode options. You've got two different ways, but just ensuring you need to do 2 installs. It is compulsory to do this. So let's just let this finish and then we'll go to the next step. Now you see we are at a screen where it says an available HDMI device was detected. Let's press the PS button and then we press yes. And then what that should do is it should calibrate the screen and it's bring it up to the correct resolution as well. So it says if you do not press any buttons, this is what will go back to previous setting. This is the correct screen. And now we are booting back into the XMB of the PlayStation 3. As you can see here. And now we will move on to the next steps. So what you now need to do is you need to ensure that the PlayStation 3 is connected to the internet. And what you will now need to do is you need to activate the PlayStation 3 system. So to be able to do this, you go to your PlayStation Network settings, you click on sign in, you sign into your system. And let's just wait until it signs in. You go into account management and you wait until it turns on and you go to system activation, PS3 system, game, activate system. And it should activate. And it says activation is now completed. And you press OK and you should be now taken back to the XMB. Once the PlayStation 3 has been activated, you need to click triangle on account management and just sign out of the PlayStation 3 as normal. And now we will look into doing the next steps, which is to do with the internet browser. So what you need to do is you need to go to the internet browser and you need to tap X on it. You need to now tap triangle. You need to go to tools and you need to go to confirm browser close and you press off and then press OK. What you now need to do is you need to press triangle one more time. You need to go to tools and you need to go on home page. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to select use blank home page and then press OK. And then we do the next step. Now the next step is very important. You now need to click triangle one more time. You need to go to tools and then you need to go all the way down to delete cookies. Press yes. You need to go back and press triangle, press tools, delete search history, press yes. Then you need to press triangle again and go back to tools, delete cache, press yes. And then you need to go back into tools with triangle and delete authentication information and press yes. What you now need to do is just tap circle and the browser has now been closed out. So that will essentially clean any type of history, cache, any type of access that you've done in the internet browser. It will clean all of that off and now we're ready to move on to the next step. So what you now do is you go back into the internet browser and then you press the start key and then you type in the following address. Now, as you can see, you need to type in http //ps3exploit.me, exactly how I've written it, as you can see on the screen. And then you just need to press start. And it should start loading the page. And now we're on the PS3 exploit page. What I now want you guys to do is press the select button add to bookmarks, and then add this site to bookmarks, and then press circle. So, as you guys can see, I've now moved my camera a bit to the top, right? So what I now need you guys to do is go on the PS3 HEN tab and click on HEN Auto Installer. Now this is great because it does all the heavy lifting that we want it to do. And you press X on it and OK, and it will open up a new tab for you. And you'll now start seeing that it's downloading a file on a separate window. And now when the download is completed, you can now just press back, and then we'll move on to the next step. So what you now need to do is press the select key and add this page to bookmarks. And once that's done, press back, and then for the best success rate, you just need to press circle to close the internet browser. So guys, now what you need to do is just go back onto the internet browser, and then press the select key and go to HEN Auto Installer, and it will ask us to overwrite the file that they downloaded before. So overwrite and save. Press circle, and then simple as just hover your mouse over to Auto HEN Install, press X, and it should start installing HEN. Now it might fail a few times, but if it tells you to restart your system, just restart your system and try again. But as you can tell, it's worked successfully over here. It's now, all of the patches have started coming up, and it's going to download a PKG file for us. As I mentioned, if it fails, just restart your PlayStation 3 and try again, and it should work for you guys, and you shouldn't have any further issues. Now that the download's completed, press circle, and now we move on to another piece of PKG that is downloading. Once this is downloaded, we'll move on to the next step. One thing, guys, which is very important, is when you do the last PKG file, is do not touch your control in the last PKG file. The reason being is it will auto reboot the console. But now that we're booted in, we now see a new section on our PlayStation 3, which is Enable HEN. So now I will show you what you now need to do. So guys, let's now go ahead and enable HEN. So all you now need to do is just press X on HEN, and it will open up a web browser. You don't need to do anything. It will do a bit of weird things on your screen. And now it will say, welcome to PS3 HEN on the top. And now we know it's successfully installed because we now see the package manager. So guys, well done. You've now enabled HEN on your console. So now that HEN is installed, we also had a file which was called Multiman. So first, please make sure the USB stick is still plugged in. As you can see, mine is still plugged in. Go into Package Manager, go into Install Package, and then go into Standard. And you shall see the Multiman package right there. Press X, and then let it install. Now this is quite important because this is what you're going to be using for a lot of your stuff in the future. And now it's complete, and press back. So now you see a new application called Multiman. Press X on it, and what should happen, it should start displaying, because it's the first time we've booted it up, some information that we will need to read. So it'll take a couple of minutes, and let's just wait. So there you go. So it says, do you accept the binding contract? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And yes, we do. And now it's going to be installing MMCM data to internal hard drive, and just wait until that's completed. So guys, check it out. We're now on Multiman. As you can see, I've got no games installed yet, but let's go all the way to the settings icon and then find theme audio. And my suggestion is to disable the audio, because if you've got a monitor, it's got a very hectic tune that it plays that catches everyone off guard. So that is how you install Multiman on the PlayStation 3. So guys, now that we've got Multiman installed, if you quit out of Multiman, and it's the same thing, you press the PS button and you quit out, you'll now notice that Multiman is actually renamed on our XMB, as I'm going to show you in a couple of seconds once it boots back up. So now that we're back into our screen, you can now see it's now just renamed to MMC, which is fantastic. And you can see enable hen has now disappeared. So the way you know that hen is installed is when the package manager is showing. If the package manager does not show, you will see the enable hen button that you need to then have a click on to enable it. So one of the basics that you need to know is hen, if you reboot the system, so let's say you shut down the system and you start it back up, or you play a PlayStation 2 game and you back out the PlayStation 2 game, you will have to re-enable hen. So just remember that. That is the crucial part, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if I turn off the system and just wait for it to turn off, and then I'll come back to you guys when I've booted the system as I have right now. So let's just wait until the system boots in. And guys, one thing, just an off topic, who didn't love the lovely startup screen? There you go. So you see hen showing up on the top, on the right of the PlayStation. And you notice that I have no package manager showing, which means that hen is not enabled. So if I click on enable hen, and then you just wait for that, and then you shall see welcome to PS3 HEN 3.2.0, and now we're running HFW again. So guys, let's just get to the conclusions of the video. So guys, what do we think? Well, it is a daunting task to do because it takes us a while to ensure that hen is installed on our PlayStation 2, but once it's done, it works like a dream. I absolutely recommend you guys doing it. It's safe, it's secure to do this, and why not enjoy more benefits of the homebrew community on your PlayStation 3, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this tutorial. There's plenty more stuff coming along the way. Like and subscribe, guys, and enjoy your PS3 HEN, and I'll see you guys in the next one.